right, kicking off the night then, a huge quarter-final, 7th versus 8th. It is Dobey against Bunting.
There's something special about Premier League darts. The fans rise to their feet in Cardiff.
Special players do special things. Oh, world class!
Price is the pride of Welsh darts.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the Utilita Arena. And this is the BetMGM Premier League. Coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great city of Cardiff. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And for the thousands joining us live, and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Two former Masters champions collide. Firstly, would you please welcome the winner of 7 PDC titles. Ladies and gentlemen, a World Championship semi-finalist, Hollywood Dobey! Ladies and gentlemen, our Masters champion, the reigning Bahrain Darts Master, a 2-time World Championship semi-finalist, and the winner of the Lakeside, it's the Bullet, Stephen Bunting!
One at the bottom, 7th versus 8th in the table. 2 players separated by just 3 points. Well, it is Chris Dobey who is 3 points better off, but he needs to get a move on, doesn't he? 6 weeks down, he made the final on the opening night in Belfast, but he hasn't won a match since then. And 2 years ago, when he was in the Premier League, well, he finished 7th. which is where he's at now. Ended on 14 points that season, and he will want to do better than that this time around. Stephen Bunting, meanwhile, back in the Premier League fold for the first time in a decade and still yet to accumulate any points. Didn't do too much wrong last week. We were talking about it a minute ago with Wayne and John. Averaged 102 in losing 6-4 in his quarter-final to Gerwyn Price. So what can the former Lakeside champ produce here? This a first meeting of this Premier League season between these two. Well, for the first time tonight then, let's head to comms, and good evening to Mark Webster and Rod Studd.
Evening, Emma. Evening, everyone. Well, 4 days on from that League Cup final at Wembley, we have Newcastle versus Liverpool, the rematch. In darting terms, these are two Aerosmiths who are both on a 6-game losing streak. Chris Dobey hasn't won since he beat Rob Cross in the semi-final in Belfast. Stephen Bunting hasn't won a game all year, so who better to provide the razor-sharp analysis on this basement battle than the former Premier League wooden spoon winner, Mark Webster. Croeso, Mark.
The old Rod. This is where I come into my own Premier League woes, struggles. But this is a little bit different. These two are actually playing some good stuff. They just need a win. I know it's stating the obvious. They've just got to get over the line tonight. All these big averages they've been putting in, they trade that in for an 85 average scrappy game where they just get a win on the board. It's getting a little bit desperate, particularly for Stephen and Rod. We're playing league order next week as well, so the fixtures ain't getting any easier for these two.
No, and if Stephen Bunting gets beat tonight, it'll be 7 losses on the trot at the start of a Premier League campaign, and that will be the first player ever to have done this in this particular format, which started in 2022. I just wonder, Mark, does he need to go out with the attitude that if I don't win, then I don't win, but I will win?
140.
Yeah, and it gets to a point where they'll say to Stephen, no pressure now. Well, the pressure ramps up. It couldn't be more opposite. And for him, it's just believing in the process, believing that if he keeps playing well, the results will come. And Chris Dobey will have heard the whispers as well this week. This is represented as the easier tie because it's a player that's just one place above him.
You're not a buyer of the theory of playing with freedom then, Mark, eh?
I can speak for experience. No, I can speak for experience. I was out the Premier League after, 9 weeks, and it never became any easier. You didn't think, right, it doesn't matter. You can just sort of work on your game, enjoy matches. It doesn't work like that.
Dobey enjoy this, 70. He will if it's double 16. Would have been a 15-dart opening salvo from the Geordie, but Stephen Bunting has a long-range opportunity to steal the opening leg. Not there.
I think Stephen will be really frustrated because the form coming into the Premier League was a World Series winner, runner-up. And he'd been playing okay on the tour, but yet to find a point and drops the opening leg here. Confident hold the throw for Chris Dobey.
Well, the worst losing streak in terms of matches on the trot in Premier League history is 9. Peter Wright with the last 3 in 2023 and the first 6 of 2024, and that's equal with Glenn Durrant, who lost all 9 in a league phase before this format started. That was in 2021. Good evening to you, Glenn. 60. Gave you a mensch there.
I just assumed my name was coming up there. Can't believe I didn't lose 9, but yeah, it is tough.
Well, no, you won a couple of games of the year you were in the Premier League, but one of them was not on your home turf in Cardiff, where you were on the wrong end of an 8-1 tonking from Adrian Lewis, as I recall, Mark.
Yeah, it was a tough night, that one. Gerwyn Price has home hopes on his shoulders, but he's in a great position in the league. He's the final quarter-final this evening against Rob Cross. These two have started pretty well. First match going the way of Stephen Bunting.
There'll be no 1-4-3, but the setup turn is not the best ever, but Dobey a long way back. He has half a chance here to go 2 up, but now no chance. So Stephen Bunting looking at 86.
Chris, there's options here now. An argument maybe for the ball as well. These are already important moments for Stephen when you can't find wins. You don't want to start chasing a match, dropping your throw early. It may just be a dart of the ball for Bunting, but it's 7-7 for a level game. Misses marginally. When things aren't going your way, these type of shots get punished. Chance for Dobey to double his lead.
Let's see if the punishment arrives. Wrong treble. 17 left, single one will leave 8-8 for Hollywood. 8-8 for 2-zip. And heaps the pressure and the misery on the Bullets.
For Stephen, there's a 180 in that leg on his darts. And he still found a way to allow Chris Dobey to break his throw. Early problems again for Bunting here.
Bunting has beaten Dobey this year, a 6-0 caning in the World Series in Bahrain, but since then Chris Dobey has avenged that defeat with a UK Open success in the last 64, 10 legs to 6, and has a head-to-head advantage of 12-4 over his opponent Dobey.
Yeah, had 6-3 in that match, Stephen, as well, and just dwindled away. Credit to Dobey. Reminder, I briefly touched on it. Fixtures in Newcastle next week, are played in league order, so 1, 8, 2, 7, etc, etc. That can chop and change a bit tonight.
134.
Dobey didn't need a breaker throw, but he's got one, so Stephen Bunting now chasing a brace of breaks to win this match, so it's already becoming a tall order for Stephen Bunting here, the Premier League cellar dweller. And as Mark's quite right, the longer you're on the bottom, the longer you fail to win, the harder it gets. We saw that from Snakey last year, didn't we? It just couldn't get going at all, didn't he? And the frustration just grew for Peter Wright.
And early parts of matches are important when you're on a losing streak. You've got to feel involved. And you ain't really confident, which Stephen still says he is, but if you're not winning games, there's always those doubts. Chasing early and making it difficult for yourself. Giving himself an opportunity to break straight back here now.
Stephen, you require 150.
Will he stay? No. Goes hunting the treble 18. Couldn't find it.
That was a good guy to stay as well, wasn't it?
I thought so.
He will be back. And importantly for Stephen, it'll be for the breaker throw as well. Chris went hunting the 25 and a ball with the first dart and just drifted. Important moments for Bunting.
Both on 52, but Bunting with first crack. Double 16 to get on the board. Double 8, important. And it's there. Very important, almost priceless, that double 8 for Stephen Bunting, because had he missed it, he was odds on to go 3 behind in a race to 6.
Big dart from Bunting. Element of relief, even this early in the match. And looking to make hay here. That'll do. Some 40 start. Bunting's averaged over 100 on 3 occasions in the Premier League. His tournament average is above 98. Not desperate stats. And he's showing what he can do here. Match number 2 for last year's Masters champion.
Didn't help him win the leg when he hit the maximum previously, a couple of legs ago.
Here will leave Dobey finish. That's not happening, so this should be a comfortable leg for Bunting. Time to set up the 1-2-1, unless it takes out, of course. He can cherry pick his way here.
55.
Stephen Bunting wants 66 to level up this contest. He's hunting the bull. Now he's hunting double 16. On the wire, but you think odds on to be back.
Well, this would hurt. He's not going to go, so Bunting with 3 in hand to level up. The 162 in the previous visit allowed Dobey the opportunity, but he couldn't take it. So we opened up with 2 legs for Chris Dobey. Is it quickly going to be followed with 2 legs for pointless Stephen Bunting?
Well, double 8 to bail himself out again. Can't dig himself out on double 8, and now vulnerable to a counter attack from Chris Dobey, who's looking at double 14. Stephen Bunting can ill afford to miss a bunch of darts at double as he did there. But will Dobey do the same thing on double 14? He will.
That's off for Stephen Bunting. Got to be clinical here. He's done a lot of good work from 2-0 down here, Bunting. He's got to make it count. This double 8 to the rescue again. 2-2.
Well, we're approaching a decade since Stephen Bunting last won in the Premier League. It was back in April 2015 on St George's Day, and the venue was Cardiff. On the 23rd of April 2015, Stephen Bunting walloped Gary Anderson 7 legs to 1.
134.
Well, well, well. Will the return to Cardiff bring a rich dividend for the Bullet?
Well, it wasn't a happy hunting ground for Chris Dobey 2 years ago when he played here. He lost out to Gedwin Price. But we mentioned how well Stephen's played and got no points. Chris has got 3, which he picked up in week 1. But since then, his average has run above 97. That's decent. And it just goes to show the quality you need to find in the Premier League week in, week out.
91.
Well, he leaves the big fish, and we've seen that reeled in 4 times in the opening 6 weeks of this year's season. Stephen Bunting leaves 87. And that will be for the lead, unless Dobey's got this whopper on the end of his right hand, and he hasn't. So Bunting here to turn it completely around, Mark.
What a chance for Stephen. I echo what John Wayne said at the top of the show. He just needs to win tonight, Stephen.
62.
You can't fault his commitment and his fight. Neither player at their best. Delicately poised regardless.
20 leaves tops. Can't find it. It's like watching 2 blokes trying to push custard uphill with a fork here. It's just difficult. Double 8, he loves this. This has been his get out all night, and not now. Bunting missing his 8th and 9th darts at double in this match. Dobey's missed 5.
It's a nervy game, isn't it? It's becoming evident. There's been some quality, but they're feeling it at the back end of legs. But relief for Chris Dobey. Opportunities missed from Bunting. It would have been a rally from 2-0 down to lead 3-2 with a break as well. How important could that leg be?
60.
Well, at the risk of winning an award for stating the obvious, this match is becoming all about doubling.
96.
The scoring hasn't counted for very much in this matchup. It's been all about who can hit the double first at the end of each leg. And we've seen a darting version of pass the parcel at the end of most legs here.
42.
Dobey has edged back in front 3-2. Led 2-0, remember. Bunting squared it off at 2 apiece. Dobey up by the odd leg in 5.
85.
I know it's 4 quarter-finals, it's a tournament tonight, but you feel this game's got the most jeopardy, the first one, Rod. These players need victories more than anyone else tonight. It's Chris Dobey who gets involved in the match count now, his first one, but at a crucial time.
Yes. We're here to play either Humphries or Van Gerwen who meet next. Great pick-off on the green bit from the Bullet. I mentioned that big win over Dobey it was in the Netherlands, actually, not Bahrain, wasn't it? But he was flying then back then, Bunting, on the World Series, wasn't it?
Yeah, I admit that I picked him to make the top 4. I was just so impressed with how he's playing, and there hasn't been a huge drop-off. He just can't get a result. Yeah, it's a results business, the Premier League, and there's no hiding space. Yeah, you can go off to a Pro Tour or a Euro Tour and pick up some wins, which he has done. There's been some quarter-finals in both. But week in, week out, the Premier League is tough. Bunting and Chris have been finding that out. And a chance here for Stephen. Again, he's getting opportunities in this match, Bunting.
But in the end, Mark, this is a results industry, not an excuse-making industry. Double 16. And another brace of darts at double go begging for the Bullet. That's 11 he's missed in the match. Dobey's missed 9. He's been flaky on the outer ring at best. Chris Dobey nails double 16 and goes 2 clear again at 4-2. Not convincing from Hollywood, but he is in front. That's all that really matters.
Well, it's an 88-9 average. From Dobey facing an 85, it's just getting over the line here. You had a feeling it wasn't going to be pretty at times, this game, because of what was on it.
Well, that's pretty. Pretty to watch. A third maxi for Stephen Bunting of the 4 that have been hit in this matchup.
41.
Credit to both players. They won't go away, they won't wilt. Moments of quality, moments of mediocrity, just generally on the doubles. This was dragged their averages. It's Dobey at the minute with a cushion and the advantage of throwing first, so effectively Bunting's going to have to rack up a couple of breaks to throw to turn this round.
He's going to win 4 of the last 5 legs here, Stephen Bunting. And when you consider that Dobey will have the throw in 3 of those, including this one, that's a tall order.
100.
Again, Bunting looking to break straight back. He went 2-0 down, broke straight back in leg 3, had a chance to break in leg 5 and lead.
60 would have left tops.
105.
That does leave double 10 unless Dobey can produce a Shanghai showstopper here. Here's the treble. Couldn't squeeze it past the first blocker. Well, he wants 80. Could he go treble 16 here? He could, but he couldn't find it.
He wasn't happy with the first start of the treble. And yes, he could go ball, but he obviously thought he could find a way through. This is crucial for Stephen. The woes on the double is going to continue. That looks a good guide, but he doesn't use it, and he's undoing all his good work, Stephen.
64 left. The treble 16 was the target. Another 16. Leaves the double thereof. He can't find it.
There's the problem with using the treble 16. By not hitting it, he's had to waste a dart there, Chris. When you're not hitting doubles, double 5 can be awkward. 3 for double 1. Oh, and it's all going wrong for Stephen Bunting.
And he'll be saying to himself, you're doing everything I tell you not to do. He'll have said to himself, don't hit the wrong number. As Dobey striked just very close to busting on double 11, but he did get it into the double 8. And Stephen Bunting would have been saying to himself, how many more mistakes am I going to make up here? It's almost like a bingo card of blunders.
There's been positives from some of the defeats that Bunting's had. He's come off, he's known he's played well, he's brought out the best in opponents. Averaged 100 plus last week, he averaged 105 almost in Brighton, just below 105 in Exeter against Luke Littler.
Well,
He'll struggle to find positives here if he loses this match.
drops his dart in a Gowing Price tribute act there for a moment. Lovely darts when he got them off the floor, and that is a 4th maximum here from Stephen Bunting. 4 maxis, 4 ton 40s. Back comes Dobey with a max of his own.
The pace in which Chris threw those darts as well. He was out of his normal rhythm, but really effective.
100.
4 180s for Stephen Bunting. That's all well and good, Steve, but you've got to hit doubles, Chief. 2 out of 17 is not going to cut it at this level. And at that level, Chris Dobey moves to within 41 of the match with a possible 11 dart match-winning leg.
54. Chris, you acquire 41.
For the match and a priceless victory. Chris Dobey wants double 16, and Chris Dobey does it. Hollywood defeats Stephen Bunting. Newcastle beat Liverpool again, and Stephen Bunting gets another defeat in the ledger, another one in the L column, and that now is 7 miserable nights on the trot in the Prem for the Bullet.